Hi there, and thank you for joining me for today's live reading of Chameleon by Alyndra Quinn. This is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Sable. My thighs clench and tension winds up my spine. Even the familiar scent of old books and chalk dust does nothing to calm me as the late afternoon sun casts long shadows on the scuffed wooden floor beneath my patent leather Mary Jane shoes. My fingers tremble as I pull nude pink lip gloss out of my bag as I struggle for composure. The hair on the back of my neck stands on end when the door snicks open. Tristan enters, his dark presence commanding my immediate attention. My gaze traces the lines of his flawlessly tailored black suit. Not even the single-breasted sports jacket with the gleaming buttons can civilize his corded muscles and athletic build. His dark eyes lock on mine. I'm helpless to tear my gaze away, not that I really want to, anyhow. I'm frozen with a tube of gloss halfway to my mouth like a startled child. His eyes flash with heated amusement at catching me preparing for him. Game on. Professor Grimes removes the jacket with deliberate slowness, arranging it with exact care on the coat rack, which holds umbrellas in the bottom basket and a thick cable knit sweater he sometimes wears while teaching. He moves with controlled, predatory movements, ramping up my pulse. Professor Grimes maintains eye contact while methodically rolling each sleeve, revealing tanned, muscular forearms. The movement is unhurried, almost ceremonial. First the right, then the left, each fold calculated and even, stopping just below his elbow. The controlled calculation of this act serves as a preview of what's coming, a deliberate display of dominance that's a sharp contrast with his professional appearance. It brings my attention to the expensive but understated watch gracing his wrist, a Patek Philippe that speaks of power with no need to shout it. The crisp white dress shirt is made from fabric expensive enough to create a subtle sheen under the classroom lights. It hugs his muscled arms flawlessly. His shirt collar is stiff and immaculate, framing his throat in a way that draws attention to his firm jaw. His throat moves as he swallows and, fuck, I'm a goner. His hand smooths over a blood-red tie knotted with military exactness, the silk catching the light when he moves. Tailored black slacks break exactly over polished Oxford shoes. His dark hair is perfect, not a strand out of place. A subtle scent of sandalwood, exotic spices, and something darker, danger, clings to him, becoming more noticeable as he moves closer. His professional mask slips for a fraction of a second when he sees my calculated outfit. I sit primly on the edge of a desk, legs crossed, my naughty student uniform meant to push Tristan's buttons while maintaining an air of innocence. The crisp white button-down shirt stretches just enough across my chest to create tension at the buttons, tied at my waist to reveal glimpses of skin. The charcoal gray and burgundy plaid skirt hit dangerously high on my thighs, chosen specifically because the deep red complements my sable hair, divided into two braids tied with burgundy ribbons. Sheer white thigh-high stockings with delicate lace tops peek out where my legs are crossed, and classic black Mary Jane heels add sophistication to the innocent look. A loose burgundy tie matches the skirt's pattern, hangs provocatively undone around my neck. Small, wire-rimmed glasses perch on my nose, adding to the studious facade. A delicate gold ankle bracelet, a subtle detail Tristan will recognize as the one he gave me last Christmas, glints in the overhead light. His gaze catches on it when I uncross my legs, leaving them spread far enough apart he can see my virginal white cotton panties. He clears his throat, and our eyes meet again with familiar fire, his blown with desire. Crossing his arms, he leans against the front of his desk, ankles resting against each other for balance. He watches me, and as the silence grows, so does the tension. This is it. All it takes to have me panting. My chest heaves with each breath I struggle to pull in. Finally, he moves, adjusting his stance to plant his feet on the floor. Arms resting on his powerful thighs, he leans forward, his sinful face dangerously close to mine. Welcome to detention. Do you understand why I've assigned this punishment to you? Struck dumb, all I can manage is a jerky nod. Oh, so you realize arguing with me is futile and results in severe punishment? I nod again, and he smirks, the sins of what's coming sparkling in his half hooded eyes. And what other crimes has my naughty student committed? Coming back to myself, I remember the role I'm supposed to be playing. I've been terribly negligent in my studies, Professor, I murmur, my eyes wide with practiced innocence. His jaw tightens, a tell I recognize as his control slipping. Your performance has been disappointing, Miss Kerrington. His deliberate pause highlights the weighted meaning from our past encounters. His voice carries a dark promise as he circles my desk, each pass closer. The feeling of being prey washes over me, so I adopt an air of defiance and open my tube of gloss. His pulse jumps in his throat as I swipe it over my lips. Tilting my chin, I hold his gaze while I rub my lips together. I'll do anything to improve my grade. I purr, keeping my tone sweet but loaded with subtext as I bite my lip. His control snaps, and he grasps my chin. His mouth so close to mine, warmth radiates, making me want to pull him closer. His eyes narrow as I lean in, realizing I'm trying to control the moment. You'll do whatever the fuck I say, period, he says with a growl, with a mesmerizing sneer that crosses his lips. Releasing me, he stands and walks away, his passive-aggressive way of telling me I don't control a damn thing with him. Moving around his desk, he pulls open a drawer and reaches inside. I know what he's reaching for, and I press a hand to my belly, hoping to soothe the flutter of nerves that appear. Round paddle in hand, he stalks back to my desk. Stand up, he commands softly. When I do, he presses close behind me, not quite touching. The air between us is charged with anticipation. He trails the edge of the paddle across my desk surface, a subtle demonstration of dominance that makes my breath catch despite my effort to remain unfazed. Assume the position at my desk. I move to follow his instructions, but he yanks me to a stop with his tight grip on one of my braids. I don't give this opportunity to all my students. Consider yourself privileged, Miss Kerrington, he says as he pulls my head back so far I almost can't breathe. His nose glides down my exposed neck, taking in my subtle rose scent. He growls as he nibbles his way back up to my ear. Yes, Professor Grimes. He clears his throat, and I clench my teeth to hold back a sassy comment, knowing what he wants from me. Thank you for your generosity, sir. He gives me an approving grunt and releases my hair, saying, Now, be a good girl for once and do as you're told. I walk to his desk on shaky knees and grip the edge tightly as I spread my legs, giving him easy access to my most private parts. His scent envelops me, and he positions himself behind me, his warmth making me want to cuddle back against him. His hand slides into my hair, unraveling a braid with deliberate slowness. Once it's loose, hanging down my back, he moves on to the other side. My carefully constructed control wavers at his touch. Thick fingers drag through my tresses, tangling in them, pulling tightly when he fists the hair at my nape. The result leaves me with soaked panties. With a gentle kiss on my temple, he releases my hair and runs a hand down my back until he reaches the swell of my ass. I almost plead with him to touch my core, but I bite my lip and try for patience. Grasping the seam of my skirt, he inches the bottom up over my hips. The cool air caresses my exposed cheeks. A large hand palms the back of my head while the other presses between my shoulder blades, pressing my upper body against the smooth surface of the lacquered desk. The material of my shirt scrapes against my already sensitive nipples as I comply. His hands move back to my ass, gripping it tightly, squeezing it, spreading it apart, preparing me for the coming punishment. He shakes them, the jiggling vibration instinctively making me try to press my thighs together. He knows my tricks, though, and uses a foot to kick my legs apart and grab my hips to pull my ass out and up, giving him better access. Professor Grimes knows my patience is short and draws out each movement, drawing the paddle across my cheeks, rubbing it in circles, lightly tapping it against me. His fingers tickle down the split in my cheeks before traveling further along the sides of my pussy, starting an ache there that pulses from my core, and my patience is blown. Please, Professor, I was such a bad girl. I deserve this. Make it hurt. Please, make it hurt, I plead. The double meaning hangs in the air, making it unclear whether I'm playing the role or if there's a deeper negotiation happening. Tristan's hand rests on my hips, steadying me. Count them, he commands in a low growl. The first smack is a shock, a sharp sting on my skin. 1, I whisper, my voice shaking slightly. The second smack lands harder this time. My throat constricts, but I count. 2. With each strike, the tension between us ratchets higher. I'm aware of his control. His hand delivered measured blows that send waves of sensation through me, and I get lost under his ministrations. Easily brought to the edge of subspace, my need for this is so great. Before I know it, and much too soon, the punishment is over, and I'm left knowing I have so many more sins to answer for. 15, I say, my voice barely audible. My ass is on fire. A tingling burn spreads down to the backs of my thighs where he landed a few blows. Tristan's hand moves to soothe the sting, his touch gentle yet firm. He leans in, his lips brushing my ear. Good girl, he murmurs, the praise sending a shiver down my spine. He drops to his knees behind me and spreads my fleshy globes wide as he settles between my legs. His tongue slicks across my core until he reaches my clit, where he suckles it slowly, making out with it like a long-lost lover. I need to savor your taste, Miss Kerrington. Yes, please, Professor. I want to come so badly, I say with a moan, almost forgetting my role once again. I give him more, pretending to be the virginal student. You're the first to touch me there. I want to know what it feels like to come on your tongue. I just want to please you, sir. You'll come when I tell you to, and not before, he commands, his voice rough with desire. With a groan, he reaches his hands over my hips and wraps his arms around over my low back. Pressing his face to my drenched pussy, he kisses, licks, nibbles, and blows cool air on my heated skin. My pussy pulses, tingles rushing from my core to my nipples. Just when I think I can't hold back another minute, his mouth releases me and I cry out at the loss. No, I scream out, but all it gets me is a hard smack on each cheek, hard enough to leave a heated sting behind. He presses in behind me as he stands, his mouth brushing the shell of my ear. You'll take what I give you, and you'll like it, dirty girl, he whispers in a gravelly voice. The sound of a belt buckle clanging and the soft rasp of clothing falling break up the tension right before he slams 2 fingers inside my swollen pussy. Oh, Professor, that's so good, I say, dragging the last word out. He pumps his fingers into me hard and fast before adding a third. I beg and plead for more, but he ignores me, knowing I'm not ready for his long, wide cock yet. His thumb circles my clit, and right before he pinches it, he says, Now, dirty girl, now you can come. My climax tears through me, my pussy gripping his fingers. As I scream his name, he replaces his hand with the head of his cock and slams home in one hard thrust. With my climax still running through me, my breath comes out in short pants and gasps as I adjust to his girth. Sometimes, something that's more of a reality than the role play of pretending to be a first-timer. Professor Grimes gives me a moment to adjust to his girth, our harsh gasps filling the room, his dick pulsing, stretching my tight channel. He places a foot on the desk as he pulls one of my arms behind my back, holding it there in his tight grip. He moans when he pulls back and slams home again. A few more times and he evens out and angles himself to hit my G-spot. Tapping against it every time he pushes in, he slowly drags it back over the sensitive spot when he pulls back, only to slam in again until another climax, this one the beloved G-spot orgasm, builds as the spot swells to an almost unbearable need to release. Mr. Grimes wraps a hand around my throat and squeezes as he pounds into me mercilessly. He pulses inside me, his hot cum spurting against my walls, triggering my climax to burst over me. His warmth dissipates when he moves away from me, and I hear the clink of his belt buckle again. Part of me wants this to go on forever, the other part trying to block out my need for him. Not just Professor Grimes, but also my friend, the man, Tristan. Will there be additional lessons, Professor? I ask, rebuilding my emotional walls. I'm intrigued, but realize I'm in over my head with this man. Your dedication to improvement is noted, Miss Kerrington, though it bears Careful monitoring. Professor Grimes' voice is steady, but his eyes betray a flicker of vulnerability. The double meaning hangs in the air as he closes the door on his way out.